What is up, soccer friends? Welcome to Kickback Committee. We're glad you're here. I'm your host, Susannah Fuller. Really excited to hang with everybody today. And if you're new here, Kickback Committee is part of Kickback Soccer Media. You can follow us on all the socials at Kickback Committee on Instagram and Kickback CMTE on Blue Sky. Also, check out all our other amazing podcasts, Soccer-wise, for avid fans of MLS, NWSL, and US Soccer, and First Touch Weekly. It's a one-of-a-kind World Cup 2026 show dedicated to blending smart, inclusive storytelling with topical deep dives and evergreen segments. Also, we're now on Sirius XM, so make sure you search for us on the Sirius XM app or catch us on select days on Sirius XM FC 157. But let's get into it. I am super stoked because today we welcome back our fellow committee member, Brianna Pinto, back from Spain, living the dream in the Windy City, looking great. Brianna, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. The weather's nice here. It's warmed up since we've been gone, so I'm super stoked about that. Today I'm repping my Charlotte FC jersey. So
I noticed that.
I wanted to bring a little bit of home because I did go to Charlotte after I came back from Spain. So that was really, really nice.
Oh, so you got a trip home before you made the kind of official move.
Saw some family and friends, went to some games. It was awesome.
Amazing. So how are you feeling settling into Chicago? Is it going to start to feel like home soon, do you think?
I think now, because last night I finally hung up all of my pictures and I put down my rug underneath my couch. So it's slowly becoming home. I love the city. The people are so kind and welcoming. There's so much to do. So it's been great.
Oh, amazing. We're going to hit more of your Chicago experience a little bit later on in the show, but we've got such a fun episode in store for you guys. We're going to touch on some of the bigger storylines we've seen in soccer over the last week, including some great underdog stories. We love underdog stories. Who doesn't love an underdog story? We're going to talk about Norwegian side Bodø Glimt and their incredible takedown of Inter Milan in Champions League last week. Of course, the NWSL season kicks off in a couple weekends, so we're going to chat with Brianna about how she's feeling leading up to her first season with the Chicago Stars and their season opener. Staying in the NWSL lane, we're going to do another edition of Touchline Tailor because we had so much fun the last time Brianna was on ranking some of our favorite and least favorite MLS kits. We're going to do the same thing for NWSL kits that had some releases last week. I will say overall, I think they were much better than the MLS ones on the whole. Just putting that out there. Also, we're going to chat a little reality TV because that's what we do here on Kickback Committee. I'm a fan, and I'm going to try to get Brianna into some of these shows as well. But before we dive in, big news for Kickback Committee, guys. We can officially announce that Walker Zimmerman is now a part of Kickback Committee. He is an incredible player, has had a really amazing career, two-time MLS Defender of the Year. He's won the Supporters Shield twice. He's won the US Open Cup twice. He has repped the United States on the biggest stage in the World Cup in 2022, currently featuring for Toronto FC. He is a guy that I have known in the MLS circles for a while. We've done some work together. Just an awesome personality. He's going to bring so much personality and perspective to Kickback Committee, and we are just super stoked to have him. So that feels like a really big get between Walker and Brianna Pinto. I feel like Kickback Committee is just skyrocketing here. And Brianna, you said that he's literally one of your favorite players, which is wild.
Yeah, like he had that American grit about him. So like anytime he played with the national team, you could just see his desire to win, and he was like tough in the tackle, and he was just a leader out there. So yeah, I had so much fun just like watching him play for club and country.
He's such a good dude too, like off the field. I've been able to do a couple pieces with him. I remember when he first went to Los Angeles, LAFC, and they got him in the expansion draft from Dallas. And I did a feature with him, and he had just moved to Santa Monica. And this was before he had kids. So he and his wife were living in this cute little apartment in Santa Monica. And do you remember those scooters, the bird scooters that were like so hot for a while?
Yes.
We rode bird scooters up and down the Santa Monica boardwalk together, and we just had such a time. And he's such a like cool, chilled, laid back guy. I'm really excited for him for this opportunity in Toronto. He was so good for Nashville, but yeah, just an awesome dude. Great player. So dangerous in the air, like on set pieces. It's always like, oh God, Walker he's just so athletic and he can get up high. And yeah, we're very stoked. We're very stoked about the caliber of talent that we have acquired here on Kickback Committee, including yourself, Brianna. So this is going to be fun. But let's get into our big storylines in the soccer world, okay? Because it's a really good time to be a soccer fan right now, people. There's a lot going on. We're obviously all gearing up for the World Cup this summer. But, to whet our plate, we've got tons happening right now. Champions League is going on, both men's and women's. The new MLS season is off and running. As we mentioned, NWSL season is just around the corner. But I want to chat a little bit about what we saw last week in Champions League. Do you love an underdog story, Brianna?
I think underdogs are the best thing about sports.
Right? Like, I don't know what it is about an underdog story, but it kind of like, it galvanizes you and makes you feel like anything is possible. I don't know. I find it really inspirational. And I think that like, it just, I don't know. It's almost like a level set for people like, oh man, like we can all achieve great things. Like it's so cool. And we saw that on full display in Champions League last week when Norwegian side Bodø Glimt, okay, knocked out Inter Milan over a 2-leg playoff 5-2 on aggregate, which is like, that's not nothing. Like 5-2 is a pretty decisive result over 2 legs, especially against a team like Inter Milan, who has such incredible Champions League pedigree. They were in the final last year. They lost to PSG, but like that is absolutely no joke. I didn't know a lot about the Norwegian league, Brianna. I'm not gonna lie. Like, don't watch a ton of it. Had no idea where Bodø, the town of Bodø, is. Did you know it's in the Arctic Circle?
I had no idea,
It's
but
literally
I think that's what makes it special.
The Arctic Circle, like their population barely cracks, like it's like 54,000 people or something like that.
But I think that's what's so cool about the game is like you can come from these tiny pockets of what seems like nowhere to me, but is somewhere to them, and make meaning of your city. And to see all of their fans get behind them across 2 legs and take down such a formidable side in Inter Milan. Like, I think it's so cool. But I think their identity of like where they're from showed through in their play. They were extremely resilient. They had a lot of movement in their front 3. They unbalanced Milan's back line, and they just had like a savviness and like a chip on their shoulder. But I think that was what was really cool, because when you have an underdog who isn't expected to win, they have to find creative solutions to break down the other team, and they did that with such grace.
Yeah, it was incredible to watch, and you talk about it. Like, you're so right. They're a team that had such an identity and such an idea of the way they were going to play, the way they were going to approach these 2 legs against Inter Milan, and like a confidence that was just palpable and oozing. And you know what I didn't realize, Brianna, was that they're basically like kind of still in preseason. Like their regular season hasn't even started yet. They've been playing just club friendlies sort of leading up to this. So this isn't even a team that's like fully gelled into their regular season form yet, which is remarkable.
Do you know how hard that is? Like, for a team to be firing on all cylinders in preseason effectively, it is so difficult, because you need everybody to be on the same page in terms of communication, how you shift, drop, step as a unit, like keep the lines compact. So, and then you have to be able to execute under pressure. Yeah. And, against a team like that, like you have to take your chances when they present themselves, because if you're not clinical, there are not going to be too many opportunities when you can't score. So the fact that they were able to get those victories at such a critical time, I think was huge for their club.
So from a player's perspective, have you ever been a part of a team that was considered an underdog and then went on to maybe like pull up an upset in a match, in getting some sort of big result that maybe people didn't expect?
Yeah, I'd say the 2023 NC Courage team, we lost a lot of our offensive firepower in Debinha and Diana Ordonez at the time. But we went to KC at KC and won the semifinal in Challenge Cup. I actually scored the winning goal, but I came off the bench that game. But I knew that was going to be such a challenging game, because KC was starting to come into their own as like a newer club. Obviously, FC KC had been there before, but Kansas City current, and they were tough as nails, and they were hard to break down, and they were physical. And we knew that going into an environment like that with a lot of money at the time on the line, we had to fight tooth and nail to the final whistle. And we were able to find that final goal and advance to the Challenge Cup championship, and we won. So we were a young team at the time, and I think it was just this inner belief that we tapped into from the history of the club with the Courage and how successful they had been in years prior, but also knowing that we each brought something individually special to the team. And it was our responsibility to make that shine through on that particular day.
That's amazing. Can you kind of bring me inside sort of the locker room, before a match like that, or at halftime of a match like that? Like, what are those conversations look like? And what is the overall kind of sentiment amongst the players?
Yeah. So when you're in a locker room, you have to kind of set the tone about what the energy that you're going to bring onto the field. And one of the things that we talk about is be first in the tackle, like really make them feel your presence. We've got to win our individual battles on offensive and defensive set pieces because it discourages the team. So when you bring that energy from the locker room, from the opening whistle, it really helps you manage the ebbs and flows of the game. So in that particular moment, I was actually coming off the bench. So of course, when you're on the bench, you're thinking like, what can I do to impact this game? What can I do to impact this game? And like, as a player, I always talk myself up on the bench, and I say, I'm going to find a way to score. I'm going to find a way to be the difference maker on both sides of the ball. And I think it was like one of the latest stoppage times goals. I think it was in the 97th minute, if I'm not mistaken. But at the time, and I think it was like a whole team goal. We had a long throw in from wide. It was Kaylee Kurtz. We kind of scrambled in the box to get it. I had a shot attempt that was blocked. I fell down. Narumi Mura came up behind me and secured the ball, and then it popped up, and it was a golden moment, a shot that I'd taken a million times before, and I just tucked it in the corner past their goalkeeper. But I think it really comes down to wanting it more. And we saw that with Bodø Glimt. We see it with all these other underdog teams that just have that chip on their shoulder that want to make something proven.
So Bodø Glimt will now face Sporting CP, Portuguese side, in the round of 16 in Champions League. And suddenly they're well on the map. Like, people are like, I would not want to play Bodø Glimt in Champions League. How much can what they did against Inter and like what you guys did in that match, like what do you do to carry over that momentum into the next challenge?
I think it is momentum. And I think of water when I saw Bodø Glimt play. So we saw the fluidity that they showed early on in the game versus Inter Milan, but now it's like riding the tide. And it's rising as they go from game to game because that belief grows. It's like, if we take down this one team, we can build on that. And then people start to fear you. So when you turn into from the underdog to like the aggressor, I guess, that's when you know that your game plan can be executed against anybody. And then the other teams will be forced to adapt to you rather than you adapting to them. So I think it's just a mindset thing. And then also being extra attentive to the details, making sure that you're taking care of your responsibilities in how you press, your formation that you want to play, how you're trying to break down the defense, things like that. And when there's energy anywhere, anything's possible.
Ooh, I love it. It's going to be so fun. What are some of your other favorite underdog stories in the soccer world that we've seen? Because there's been some great ones.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of irritating because I wasn't on the team at that time. But Gotham FC won in 2023. I actually was at the championship game. But seeing them go from last place to champions was a testament to their willpower, their character, their ability to endure. I think Mandy Freeman's a perfect example of that. She's been a player who's been with the club for so many years, has seen the lowest of lows, but also has now seen the highest of highs. And she's actually been on the team that won this last year too. So I think when you combine new forces with new ideas, a new standard, but also take people like Mandy or Midge or whoever else had been on the team for a while that have like the pride in the club and where they've come from and the desire to improve, I think you can create something special. And fortunately for Gotham in 2023, they capitalized on that new injected energy, but that old grit about them, and they were able to win the championship.
That's a great one. That's a really, really good one. And like recency bias, I'm like, oh yeah, that one was huge. I always think back to the Premier League in 2015 when Leicester City won, and it was like,
cool.
What? Like, this just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen, especially in the Premier League, where it's like you've got your sort of big four teams, and you know, there might be some shuffling amongst them, and then the middle of the table is kind of, but like Leicester City kind of came from nowhere under Claudio Ranieri, and like you just like the guys like Jamie Vardy, just like these like scrappy dudes.
Jamie Vardy's story is so unique, but again, he's an underdog in every right, because I think he climbed several ranks of the game, like going from second, third divisions up to the first division and finding a way for himself. And I think that is so unique, because when you have people like that are on a never ending ascension to just get better, it really makes it like the backbone of your team.
Yeah.
But one of the cool things is after they went on that run, everybody that played FIFA with my brothers or me, they wanted to be Leicester after that. And
totally.
it was cool to see their club like totally revamp the minds of young FIFA players at the time.
It was awesome. And I feel like it's like not really something we're going to see anytime soon again. It was just like lightning in a bottle for Leicester that year. And it was so cool. There's a Charlotte connection too. Christian Fuchs, who played on that Leicester side, was a player, and then I think an assistant coach with Charlotte. I don't know if he's still there. I don't think he is, but he was very, very invested in that Charlotte side. See, so we gotta find the through lines.
We love it.
Love it. Speaking of MLS, we're 2 weeks into the MLS season. Are you okay? What's your appetite for Major League Soccer? How much do you pay attention and engage?
I watch like more of the storyline games. I watched a lot of like FC Cincinnati because my brother played there, and I watched Charlotte just because they're my sort of hometown team, or like rather state team. So I guess now I'll have to tune into Chicago Fire because I have friends that I went to college with that play there. So yeah, I think for me, it's like watch whatever game's on. Thankfully, I'm fortunate to have so many different programs that show all the different games, because I feel like nowadays you need like 85 different TV providers to make sure you can see all the soccer across the world. But no, any level, I'm so excited to watch, because I feel like as a student of the game, I can add stuff to my own play.
100%. Where are you at with Lionel Messi? Because I've said on this show before, like it was so electric and so unbelievable when he made the decision to come to Major League Soccer, Inter Miami. And then it was the only thing people in MLS were talking about. And I feel like I got some I called it Messi fatigue. Like I was like, is this all we're going to talk about? Even though he was producing and was doing Lionel Messi things and just truly like the goat of all goats. But I was like, oh gosh, are we still talking about Messi? And then like I'm 2 weeks into MLS and I'm like, yep, the storyline once again is Messi. You know, he brings his team back from a 2-0 deficit against rival Orlando at the weekend. And I'm like, oh my God, he's still doing the thing. But like for you as a player, like, does that still excite you and grab you?
It does. Yeah. I mean, I just love greatness in all forms. It could be any form of art, any form of entertainment. And for him to have dominance for so many years is truly inspiring. Like seeing him win last season with all his best friends on the field, like that was just so unique. It's like you can't write it better than that, right? And you've seen him like come up short, but he's just someone who is always going to find a way, like even if it takes a year or 2 or 3 or whatever it may be. But I was fortunate to see him play in September of last year at Charlotte. I wasn't sure if he was going to play because it was turf. But I'm not kidding. Maybe a third of the stadium had Messi jerseys on. And then they were selling Messi jerseys outside of the Charlotte FC Stadium. So I think when you have that type of pull and that type of global recognition, it is just so crazy because you are a superstar to everyone. Everyone knows your name. So then I started thinking when I was at the game, I was like, imagine how many Messi jerseys there are out there.
Oh my God.
Between Barcelona, Argentina, Inter Miami, PSG, like imagine.
It is actually staggering. I mean, he has to be the most recognizable, certainly athlete, but like just, humans on the planet. I was in, my husband and I went to Paris in January, and I swear to God, every day we saw at least like 5 Messi jerseys. A lot of them Inter Miami too, which is wild in Paris. Like you're like, wait, what? Like this is just so. But it is a global phenomenon, and I need to be better about appreciating it while it's here, because I know it's not going to be here forever. But I think just because being in the media, it's like, oh, guess we're talking about Messi again. Yeah. Guess what? We're talking about Leo again, and I just need to kind of embrace it and be like, this is so special, and we're not gonna have this.
It's not gonna last forever. Yeah. I also want to see all the great athletes compete. So I try to make it to all the sports. Like I saw LeBron this year. I saw Messi last year.
Amazing.
I see Ronaldo. I saw Djokovic. Like I really want to appreciate greatness while it's here.
I love that. That is such a wonderful, wonderful perspective. And I'm sure being an athlete, that is just nothing short of inspiring to watch people like who are the best at what they do, executing it on that level. Like that's got to be so gratifying. Amazing. All right, let's move it along. Brianna, let's chat a little bit about you and this upcoming NWSL season. So this is going to be your first season with the Chicago Stars. I'm very, very excited. But last time we talked, you were still in Spain, kind of at the tail end of that experience of preseason. What have the last few weeks since we spoke looked like for you, and like what has the progress been with the team?
Yeah, I think the first few weeks in Spain, we were definitely laying the foundation of how we wanted to play, the type of formation that we thought would be most effective with our personnel. I've really enjoyed working with the coaches because they just show a new way of thinking about the game. And I feel like I've been stretched in a lot of new ways. So I think that's been fun.
How have you been stretched, Brianna? I want to know.
Well, I've been playing a couple different positions. Like obviously I played a little bit of a false 9 coming from Courage. Played the 6 last week, which I haven't played in a while, but I'm familiar in the midfield, like anywhere in the 6, 8, or 10. But we've also tried like inverting with a winger, like a 7-11 coming inside and being like a second 10. So I think it shows me different parts of the field. Okay. Like historically, I don't like love being on the flank, but again, it forces you to like see the game in different ways. And what I've really enjoyed is learning the defensive piece, because like when you're on the field, you have a very different perspective if you're like on the flank versus if you're somewhere central. So having an understanding of what the different positions needs makes you a better midfielder if you're like, playing in like one of the forward roles, for example. So there's a lot of positional fluidity. They want to make sure that we, fill all the channels, make sure that we're close in like space to each other so that the passes are relatively short. And then they want us to advance as a unit so that in the event that when we lose it, we can win it back quickly.
Do you feel like that's that the team is grabbing onto this? Yeah.
I think obviously it takes a while because you're like learning like with the new staff. I think that they've definitely ramped up the intensity because we have a new high performance staff and they've been absolutely fantastic. I think we learned a lot in our games. We had 3 games in Spain, and we saw some different formations that we weren't used to because we played a Danish team and a Spanish team, and they just have a different style. Mm-hmm. And then Boston, we played them as well. They looked really good. I can't even lie to you. But again, they have a foreign coach too. So it's cool to see all the different influences that are coming into the league at this time. And it's going to require every NWSL team to be more adaptable and being able to think on the fly, because if they pull out like a new formation, for example, you might have to adjust how you press defensively. So I think giving us the autonomy to read what we see and then ultimately execute has been really, really nice.
Yeah. I had this conversation with my husband, who is a coach in USL League One, and they're just finishing preseason. Their season kicks off this weekend, and like they've had a really mixed bag of results in the preseason. And my dad, who is like a psycho fan of One Knox now, is like, he gets really upset when he hears that they've lost a preseason game. And I'm like, Dad, it's preseason. Like, it's not the worst. Like, this is fine. They're learning. There's new players. They're coming together. How do you feel about like preseason results? Like, do they matter? Like, does it actually, if you've not had a great preseason results wise, like, does that carry over into the start of the season? Or as players, are you guys just able to kind of like wipe it from your memory?
Every game matters to me, at least. Just because, like, playing is a gift. You don't know how much time you're going to get, like, as a pro. So you want to win every game. And I think the people that are most successful can, look back when things don't go your way and adjust. There were some glaring issues that we found from like our preseason games, but kind of lights a fire under us. Like, we have to get it together so that we can ultimately perform how we want to in 2 weekends. So I think, yes, like preseason games are important because it shows you what you need to change heading into season. But no, like there's less of an impact because there's no standings that are after it.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I will say is I think preseason games can be misleading because a lot of them are often closed door. Mm-hmm. So when, for example, you go into Angel City in 2 weeks and they've got 22,000 fans, you can't hear anything on the field. That's going to be a huge adjustment. So we've tried to like make sure that we bring like our newcomers along, like people that haven't played in the NWSL before, just to prepare them, because it is mentally shocking to be on the field when you can't hear anybody. You have to communicate. You have to scan the field around you and know where the space is, because it can be really overwhelming to perform in that environment. So especially like on the road. Yeah. So I think we're going to have to replicate that in some ways because there's real pressure once the season starts.
Yeah. How loud is it?
It is so loud. I remember because we actually opened when I was with the Courage at Angel City for their first ever game. And I remember being on the field and I felt like my head was spinning. Like, we had our coaches like yelling like, stop, do this, get this person on this center, on a corner kick. And you just have to be able to think for yourself, honestly, because they'll give you the framework, right? They'll give you your set piece assignments. But if something changes, like let's say that whatever player that you thought was going to be on the field in a specific position maybe isn't the target, you kind of have to say, what is the biggest risk to our defensive setup right now? And how do I help mitigate that risk? So, again, like, you're a free thinker. You have to be the one that executes. Like, the coaches can tell you like what they think is going to happen, but if you aren't able to adapt and to process information and see what's going on around you, and also like just take pride in your individual battle, then you'll suffer in an environment like that, because momentum's everything. How
hard is it then to communicate with your teammates when it is?
I do a lot of pointing. Yeah, okay. I do a lot of pointing. And then you say it concisely. So one of the things we say it short, like as concisely as you can, say it loud, and then say it multiple times and point. So they should have a visual cue, an audible cue, and then if you have to like push them into the spot you need to do that, like do a physical cue, but there should always be some sort of acknowledgement, like maybe like checking your shoulder and making eye contact with a nod to know that your teammate has heard you, because you don't want to be guessing in like a crunch time moment.
No, not at all. Okay, so you guys are making the trip out west
I'm excited. It'll be fun.
Weeks. It's gonna be great. I mean, honestly, like, why not start out with a bang?
Well, that's what we like live for. Yeah, like, this is professional soccer, so I love nothing more than going to a big crowd and being the away team. and like there was something to prove. So I know that I'll be ready, and I'll be looking for a way to find that game-winning goal, because I love nothing more than beating Angel City. I've been able to score a couple game winners on them, and I would love to do it again. So why not start the season that way?
Just drop that little nugget in there. I love it. What's the scouting report on Angel City this year? Because it's not been the way we talk about it, the sort of narrative around them, at least in the media, is that like, you know, as a club, they've got this amazing following. They sell out the stadium, but the product on the field hasn't really lived up to the hype, I guess. Do you think that is changing with that team?
I'd say it's changing because they brought in a new coach.
Yeah.
They have a lot of different personnel. I think Sydney LaRue will be back. So I saw her post online, and you know, as a fan of the game, it would be good to just see her back to her glory. So we're not quite at the scouting report, but I think you have to treat every game the same.
Yeah.
Angel City can be very tough to play at home. I think there's going to be elements that maybe are different because they have so many new players, but ultimately we've got to focus on us and make sure that we execute in the critical moments to make sure we can score and then defend our goal.
Okay, so for the Chicago Stars, then, if you know what can Angel City expect? Like, if you had to kind of, I guess, summarize or articulate like the type of soccer you guys want to play, what would that be?
We're going to suffocate the middle. We're going to find a way to keep them out of what we call the heart of our team. So our lines will be super compact. But again, I don't want to give too much away.
No,
because they're going to have to do their own scouting report. But yeah, we're going to try to force turnovers in the middle of the field so that we can transition. But I think we all are really comfortable on the ball in the middle and want to get it in the pocket so that we can ultimately turn and face forward and get after them, because we've got some speed on our front line, which we're excited about. And we've got a lot of hungry goal scorers that are making those trailing runs from midfield. So I think we've got a lot of interesting combinations, and we've got a lot of smart players. So just putting all the pieces together will be up to us. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to watch you guys this season. You mentioned Boston, who you've seen in preseason, and a lot of times it's funny because in North American soccer, like sometimes expansion sides actually do really well in their inaugural season. Is Boston a team that you think could surprise people? And are there other teams you think could surprise people this season?
Yeah, I definitely think Boston could surprise people. One of the things that they did was they overload the flanks, and what makes it really difficult, especially if you're in like a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 or whatever, it makes it really difficult to decide who's going to step out. And if you go with your outside back, then it leaves a gap unless the midfielder like then covers the outside back's position. So I think they also had a lot of fluidity in their movement off of the ball so that they could change the point really quickly and then capitalize on those overloads on the flank. And they had some crafty players. Like I think they will be a team to watch this season. But I think it helps like having played them early on, because then we'll have an idea of what to expect, because I know it can be really difficult going into a game with a team you have no film on. So that was kind of the boat we were thrown into in that preseason game, but I think we can definitely adjust the next time we play them. I think Denver looked good. I watched the Coachella tournament, and they've got a lot of different pieces that are going to make them dangerous threats. They're also a tall team. Like, I think they'll actually be really good on set pieces. Okay. So, again, like I've only seen like about a half of their game, but from what I saw, they looked pretty good.
Amazing. What team are you most looking forward to facing? Is there one
to facing?
Yeah. Is there a team that you just always kind of get geared up? Like, yeah, we're gonna fight today.
I don't know. I'm like, what is the rivalry between Chicago?
I know they're really.
We don't have one.
We need to have a rivalry.
I mean, I always like playing former teams just because, like, when I go there, it's great to see family, friends, people I know in those areas. So, I mean, one game that's marked on my calendar would definitely be the game at Courage. So that'll be fun. But I think I'm definitely looking forward to the season opener at Angel City.
Okay.
Because you feel like a real professional. Yeah. And I love the crowd. And even though that we're the opposing team, it makes you feel like you've made it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because they've done such a good job to like build the fan base around it, and they've got a lot of passionate fans. So when you can come in as the opposing team and sort of heckle them and shush the crowd, like that's the best.
Amazing. I love that. I love that. God, it's so funny that you say that. Yeah, Chicago does not really have a rivalry in NWSL.
Not yet.
Because in traditionally Chicago sports, St. Louis is a huge rival city-wise. No team there. Milwaukee, like that is considered a rival. We don't have a team there. Green Bay, but I don't foresee them getting an NWSL team anytime soon. So it's like, yeah, it's regionally, it's kind of interesting that there's.
So who would you like our rival to become? That's my question to you.
I'm trying to think who is kind of, so like Louisville.
I can see that. It's not far.
Louisville's you can drive.
We play Louisville this weekend in a preseason game. So
yeah, I was in Louisville this past weekend. Ian's team had a preseason match against the men's championship side. I love that stadium. I like Louisville itself is just a really fun town. So yeah, I think if I had to pick right now a rival for Chicago, I feel like Louisville would be a good one.
I like what Bev Yanez has done with that team.
Yeah.
I think they have grown a ton, especially through last season, and they have an identity about them. They've got a lot of strong, fast, physical players, but they play within a structure. So like I would not reduce them to just being strong, fast, and physical. I think they're very calculated about how they press and where they're trying to force turnovers. And they've got like an unlimited engine. Like they just keep going. So I think Bev Yanez has brought a really great intensity about them that's going to make them a tough team to play. So I think that's something we'll definitely have to be prepared for.
Fun. Oh man, I'm excited. Are you like ready for the season to start?
Yeah, preseason's too long.
It feels really long.
Off season's so short, but preseason's so long.
Oh God. Like
preseason's almost as long as our off season. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now that I think about it, yeah. Because it's 2 months, yeah.
That's actually crazy to think about, that your preseason is as long as your off season. Wow. Yeah, it's a long time. And I get it. It's necessary. But I just feel like that this
like off season to me feels short. Yes. Because the weeks go by so quickly.
Right.
But preseason feels really long. But rightfully so, because you need to get proper time to prepare. Because season's getting longer and longer, whereas we add, more teams. So with 2 new teams, that's 4 new games.
Like, does it feel like forever ago that you were in Spain?
Not yet. Just because it was like just a week and a half ago.
Been back, and now you're moving into an apartment in Chicago. Life comes at you fast, Brianna.
It does,
right?
It does.
It's like we're filming this on Brianna's off day, and she's nice enough to take the time for us to join us on Kickback Committee. But like, what does the rest of your off day look like?
Just getting prepared because it's Wednesday of the week. So we've got to, we have a game this weekend. So making sure that I'm ready for training. So I will go to the gym and roll out and stretch. And then I'm going to run some errands just so that I have groceries for the week. And yeah.
Look at that. See, athletes, they're just like us. They have to run all the same errands. It's very humbling. We love that. Well, one thing we know is that this season, Brianna, you're going to look fire in your Chicago Stars kit. This is another edition of Touchline Tailor. I'm really excited because, as we mentioned, last time Brianna was on, we ranked some of our favorite and least favorite MLS kits. And last week we saw a big reveal from NWSL. A bunch of the teams released some of their kits for the season. And we are going to weigh in and give our top 3 and bottom 3. And like I said, I think overall these were far superior to the MLS kits. Do you agree?
I do agree. Simply because they added more like colors and patterns, and they made them more interesting, and then tried to implement storytelling through the jersey. And I appreciated that.
There was like meaning and thought behind most of the kits, I will say. Most of them. But yes, just interesting. The use of color. I was so disappointed with some of the MLS ones. So this was a refreshing change. But on that note, Brianna, give me your top 3 kits.
Well, first and foremost, Chicago Stars, because that's the jersey I will be wearing. But, honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, I really like it. It's interesting, but the stripes grew on me. I really love them now. And I feel like it was the only kit in the NWSL jersey release that had an element of nostalgia. Mm-hmm. Like it felt like a proper soccer kit. Like, it looks so good. And I think when we're on the lake, I can just envision us like at Northwestern playing with a beautiful background, like the water blending in behind the jersey. Yeah. I think it's going to look fantastic. So I'm a big fan.
Could not agree more. You will see it is included in my top 3. I love stripes. To your point, I feel like it just kind of like is a little bit of a throwback. And there's nothing I love more than a throwback kit. It is so classy. And then if you look at it closely too, like there's this lovely kind of like almost texture within the stripes. I love the simple neckline. I just think, like, to your point, you guys are going to look so sharp. Well,
thank you.
On the field. And I was over the moon. I also love that they kept like the color scheme, because I love the Chicago flag so much. Mm-hmm. And so I love that, like, that light blue, the red, the dark, like all of it is utilized in this kit. I just think they did a really good job.
Flattering on everybody. And I think I like the vertical stripes because this is so niche, but when I think of Illinois, it's like a very vertical state, and I've never like lived in a vertical state. Does that make sense?
No,
like Chicago, 100%. Like going straight up. I've lived in a state that's very wide, like so North Carolina. So I don't know. I thought that kind of showed through with the jersey.
But that is brill. And it's absolutely true. Like, I live in Tennessee right now, which is a very long state. And Illinois is completely the opposite. Wow. Look at you teaching me things. It's like, like the Mississippi River that borders the western border of Illinois. North and south. Look at that. You are, man, Brianna, you are something else.
Well, thank you.
I love the Chicago Stars kit. Okay. Who else made your top 3?
Angel Cities honestly, they remind me of LAFC. They just do the marketing right. Like, it's clean, it's sharp, it has that, it's edgy. Like, it has that pop of color that just makes it so chic.
It's like an optical.
It's like chic but powerful. I think that's going to be flattering on literally everybody that wears it.
I typically don't love a center crest, but when I saw this one, the fact that the graphic is sort of like almost exploding from the crest, like, I thought was such a cool visual effect. And it was like, like a kaleidoscope almost. I loved it. So this one is very high up for me as well.
The thing that stands out to me from an artistic point of view is like, it looks like a spotlight on them. And obviously in LA, it's like the home of the rich and the famous, the entertainers and actors. So that spotlight is on them, and it shows like what their club's all about.
Yeah, it's a really good looking kit. They did such a good job. And like you said, like their branding, everything is just top notch. Their badge, we love this. This is a great shout. Okay, who else made your top 3?
My last of the top 3 would be Washington Spirit. I actually love the Cherry Blossom Festival. My grandmother lives in Northern Virginia, and we would actually go see the cherry blossoms trees. And I think they're beautiful. I think this jersey was so fun and unique. And actually, I really love the rebrand that this club did, because for a really long time in the NWSL, there were so many different teams that had the same colors. And now we're seeing like rebrands of different clubs, like embracing new colors, and it just makes it more exciting. So previously, like Spirit had red and blue, which was the nation's capital, but I thought this was a unique way to still give a nod to the nation's capital in like an artistic and beautiful way.
Yeah. It's fire. I was very excited when they first leaked like the color scheme of this kit, and I in my head I thought, oh my gosh, I hope they're going to do something with the cherry blossoms, because DC United have done the cherry blossom kits before, and I loved them. So I was super excited, especially because I saw they were going to implement kind of that like tealish green color, and it's so unique. I just feel like it's it's really special. I love this kit. Could not agree more. So for my top 3, we can just keep this one up here because this one absolutely made my top 3 for all the reasons I mentioned. I think that I think it's going to be one of those like collector's kits, like people are gonna keep these for years, and it's gonna be like one of those like hot items in years to come. Like, oh, do you have the Washington Spirit Cherry Blossom kit? Yes, I do. Here it is in my collection. Like, it will be a prized commodity. I feel like I just love it. I love it. I think it's so unique. Number 2 on my list, the Chicago Stars. We love. It's like, for all the reasons I said, it's just so good. Do you know what color shorts you're going to wear with this?
Blue,
like the dark blue or the light blue?
Lightish blue.
Oh my God. I love it. I love that so much. That's going to look incredible. Yeah. It's so classy and clean. I adore this kit. And then my favorite kit is Orlando's. I thought it was so pretty, first of all. Like, I was like, oh, it's just like this like beautiful like watercolor almost. And then when I read the meaning behind it, so it's called the Pride Unity kit, and they're honoring it's been 10 years since that Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. And I just thought the meaning behind it, paired with this sort of like beautiful, lovely graphic and the different colors that they implemented within the design, I just thought was so mindful and really, really beautiful. So I put this number 1 on my list.
I really love that one.
I
know. To your point, just the watercolors are really, really pretty.
It's really pretty. And it's not like, they're not like popping out at you, but I think when you understand the reasoning behind it and what they're trying to honor here, it's perfect. And so I thought they just did a really, really good job. Super, super mindful and lovely. Okay. Next. Oh, I have to give an honorary mention too, because I wanted to give some love to Boston Legacy. Did you see their secondary kit?
Yes, the one with the
neighborhoods.
Okay, I can't even lie to you. I had no idea what that was.
I
did not know
either.
This is going to sound crazy, but the first thought that I had was like Juneteenth elephants because like the red and the green and the yellow, and like I was seeing fists, so I was like, I like it. Looks cool to me, but like I had no idea it was the neighborhood.
No, that's absolutely true. I think I just like when I at first glance, before I kind of like got a closer look, I just was like, oh man, they just like went for kind of this like super funky, very bright, colorful. I had no idea what the meaning was, and then I was like, oh my God, it's the different Boston neighborhoods, and I just think it's like fun. It's super fun, especially considering their primary kit is just like that green kit, which is fine. It's a nice color green, but I just thought this was a really, really fun secondary kit.
I want another kit. We are the only one without 3. So we need like a big star or something. They should let us like design it.
Let's put that word out, Brianna. I feel like you should have a say. I feel like you've got a really good eye.
Well, thank you.
Help design the Chicago Stars 3rd kit. Let's make it happen. We're going to petition it here on Kickback Committee. Make it happen, people. Get after them. You can like skeet them on Blue Sky. Be like, Brianna Pinto needs to design the 3rd kit. We're going to make it happen. I promise. Okay. To our least favorite kits, Brianna.
It was Boston, the green.
The green.
It just was a little plain.
It's plain. It's plain.
I don't know.
It's plain.
It's an interesting color green. You don't see that color.
I like the color green, but yeah, I think like, especially for teams like in their inaugural season, I almost give them a little pass. Like I'm like, okay, like maybe you've had a lot of other things like going on in order to get this club off the ground. Like maybe the kit wasn't the top priority.
And so I understand there's logistics. Yeah,
exactly.
Getting a jersey off.
But I agree. I want more.
It wasn't memorable. No. My next would be Denver. I think a lot of people actually liked this one. It looks like a training kit to me.
Agreed.
I don't love the sleeves. I like the colors, but it just looks so plain.
I agree. Yeah, I feel like the color scheme is lovely, but I feel like even if they had like kind of like, the green and blue, like a stripe even across the chest or something would have been way more interesting, because the plain white with the colored sleeves, to your point, it looks like a training kit. And so it was kind of unremarkable to me. So I'm with you on that one.
And the last one of my bottom three has got to be BFC, just because like their branding, like for all of their casual gear is so nice. It's so fun. It's so forward thinking, but this, like, it just doesn't do anything for me.
I agree.
It doesn't tell me about the Bay. Yeah, like I don't think there's any element of storytelling here. And they went from a gray jersey to an orangish, pinkish jersey. It's just not memorable.
Again, you're
I
so
like the
right.
color.
The color's fun. But you mentioned it, like their streetwear that they offer, like even their font that they use, it's so cool and iconic. And it almost reminds me of like the New York Yankees, that sort of script and just classic. And I feel like they could do so much more than this. And this was a miss for me as well. I think that they could do so much better. Also on my list, the Utah Royals, who I just feel like they can't really get it right. Like it's
that's pretty harsh.
I feel for them. I don't know. It's just kind of like a sad kid. And I see it, like, I'm like, oh, there's like a lion in there. But then when it's nothing pops, like when it's like the black on black print. And I like their badge, but then you've got the branding right across the line, so you can't. That makes it even more muted.
To me, it's redundant because you just took the lion off of the badge and then just blew it up and put it underneath the logo. And
I just think it's a miss. I don't know what's going on. It just feels like this was kind of an afterthought. And no, it's not for me. But I'll tell you, number one on my least favorite list, and this is solely because I think that they should do so much more, is San Diego. I was like, guys, it's San Diego. Like, it is sunny and colorful and the ocean, and it's like a cream. I like the pattern. I want the
pattern, but put that everywhere.
Put that everywhere.
Yeah.
Like a cream color. No. It made me angry.
I will say I like their pink shorts. Pink shorts are cute.
Pink shorts are very cute. Very cute.
Like the detail on the neckline and on the sleeves, like put that everywhere.
I agree. I just think that when look at their badge, like it's like begging for, it's just,
it looks lonesome.
It looks lonesome and sad. It just looks sad. And this makes me sad. So San Diego, you've made me sad with your kit. The pink shorts, like you said, helps it a little bit, but not enough. And so, I hopefully all these teams are listening to us, Brianna, so that, we can do better next year. But like we said, on the whole, overall, there were some really, really fun ones, and at least they were interesting and colorful. But I'm really happy that you get to wear both of our favorite kits this season.
Thank you.
It's very exciting. Very exciting. All right, Brianna, reality TV check-in. Did you happen to check out at all Love is Blind? I know we talked about it.
Yes. Well, I've been like sort of loosely following through TikTok, so I'm saving clips, but man, our soccer guy let us down.
Really let us down, man.
He's not a likable dude.
He is so not a likable dude. Alex, but he was Alec Farrell, and now he's just Alex on the show.
And then
the stuff
talking nonsense. Like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that? So he basically was like taken down Tim Howard, who is a national treasure when it comes to U.S. soccer. And I'm like, bro, you barely even cracked the professional ranks here. Like, what are you doing? Why would you say on national television that he is boring? Like, why would you say anything disparaging about Tim Howard? Like, what are you doing?
Well, my other thing is it just shows that he has like no game, because it's like, why do you have to talk down on another man to get this girl that you supposedly like? That is just so weak, and
It is weak sauce.
it's disappointing more
So
than anything, and
know.
it's embarrassing. Like I don't know, have some decorum if you go on national television. Like,
I was like, are you not thinking that people are going to see this? Like what?
And they're looking for, like, the editors, the producers, they're looking for anything to bring eyes. And like, you're just not helping yourself.
No. And the way that soccer social media is, like, these fans are all over it. Like, the minute there is something, they latch onto it. It is suddenly everywhere. Like you said, there's like a million TikToks about this. And I'm just like, guy, you got to be smarter than that. But maybe he just isn't. Maybe he just isn't. But it is... I love that he has played into this, like, even the way he like was talking about himself, that he was like this athlete, like, oh yeah, I'm a complete package. And it's like, not really. Like,
it reminds me of college athletics, where everybody thinks they're the gift to the earth. And it's like, please let it rest. There were so many before you and so many after.
I know. We're just
like, not that important.
I wonder, like, do you think it would work if there was actually like a current player on a Love is Blind, like on the men's or women's side? Like, could this work?
If their club allows
it
them,
would be.
They get released. But yeah, I think it could work, because I think there's so many athletes that have such amazing personality.
I would watch it. Yeah. I would watch it 100%.
I mean, we liked Midge's off season. Like,
loved
that was so fun. Like, you got to see a different side of the athletes, and the drama was spicy, but like, I don't know. I think that was a really cool way to show a different side of professional athlete lifestyle.
I love it. Okay, so on that note, the ESPN docuseries on NWSL called The Final Third was released just a few days ago. Have you tuned in?
I have not seen it yet, but I will tune in because I think this is so fantastic to see. Just greater investment in the women's game, like following the course of the season, showing the ups and downs, like the doubt, the hardship, but also the triumph that they achieve. So I think it's really, really cool, because it gives you an inside look of what it's like to be a pro athlete.
It's really fun. It's really fun. So I'm 2 episodes in at this point. And to your point, it's like showcasing these athletes. There are so many incredible personalities in NWSL, like just like really, really fun personalities. And like Lola Banta, there's a whole kind of, not half an episode almost dedicated to her and her husband, Roger Espinoza, and like how they met and their wedding. And it's just like, I'm like, oh, I want to know, like, I want them to now have their own reality series, because I just think that they are so adorbs and they just seem like such a fun couple. And I want to know everything about them. Hal Hirschfeld is another one. Like, what a personality this girl has. Like, there's just, and there are things that you don't really get to see when they're just perceived as only athletes. And this was a very cool, I thought they did a really good job of kind of telling the story too, of teams that, kind of coming off the heartbreak that the Washington Spirit had the year before, and then leading into this season, and then Kansas City basically dominating the whole time and losing in the playoffs. Like, they did a really nice job of kind of tapping into some of the key moments and key players and storylines. But how would you feel if there was a camera crew just kind of like following you around, and like how comfortable would you be showcasing the non-athlete side of your personality?
I think it would definitely be an adjustment, but I feel like that's what you sign up for when you become a pro athlete. Like, I loved watching docuseries on all my favorite sports teams growing up.
Yeah.
Like The Last Dance, that's a great one. Like, seeing what it took for them to win, or like any of I think there was like a Tottenham one that I watched like years ago. Like, I don't know, I like that type of stuff. It's exciting. It gives you just a different side of you about like who you are as a human being, and then how you flip the switch and turn into that dog when you step across the lines. And I think that is so fun and exciting to document. Because also, like, when you look back on your career, having that video of like all the places you've been and the people you spent time with, what it was like in the locker room, from what I've heard from people that have retired, that's what they miss most. So I think content is king, because you can live back in the moment and watch it like years later.
Okay, so let's say the Chicago Stars get their own reality show. They're following Brianna around. Like, what are they going to see? Like, what do you think people might be surprised by in that sort of peek behind the curtain? Brianna, the person, not Brianna, the athlete.
Oh, I love to joke. Like, I can't do anything without a little giggle. Like, everything's a joke, because you have to have fun when you like do stuff. So like, I don't know, like I'll be on like the pull-up bar in our lift just making faces at people like, I bet you can't do it as many as I can. So I don't know, like throughout my day, they'll just be, I think people would be shocked at all this different stuff that I'm involved in. Like, I'm on a lot of different meetings and learning in a lot of different ways. And I think that's stimulating to me. But I want to be like a great athlete on the field, but I also want to be a productive member of society.
I think you're feeling it.
I think getting to see like doing podcasts and like just being involved in the game in different avenues.
Truly, there's like nothing you can't do. Seriously,
thank you.
I know you're honestly one of the most impressive people I've ever met in my life, and we are so grateful to have you on Kickback Committee. One last thing, do you watch Top Chef?
I don't.
Okay.
I need to get into the TV shows. The only show I'm watching right now is Paradise on Hulu.
Oh, Paradise is so good.
So good.
So good.
I'm like a one TV show at a time kind of person.
Man, I know I've got like 10 going on at once. But I will tell you, because I know you love food, right? Like
I love food.
Okay.
I love food.
Top Chef is, I've been watching it since the beginning, but it's fascinating because these chefs are just brilliant and what they come up with. But there's another reason you should watch it. It's taking place in the Carolinas. So they're going to so they're doing part of it in, I think, like Asheville, North Carolina, and then another part in South Carolina, maybe Greenville. Greenville and Asheville. So they've got a bunch of chefs from that region that will be competing on this season of Top Chef, and it starts next week. So if you need a little show, and it's fun, it's really fun. Like, and it's, it's cooking and food, and you get hungry inevitably when you watch it. But I feel like I would love to discuss Top Chef with you.
See, I like the cooking competition shows because like, they're kind of like athletes. They're working under time crunches. They have to manage the expectations of the spectators. Like, they need to make sure that the presentation is up to par. Like, when you watch these types of shows, I've seen other iterations of the same thing, and like making sure that you're dicing your garlic or like mincing your garlic properly. Like, it has to be fine. Oh. And I think back to what it's like to be an athlete, making sure your first touch is like great so that you can ultimately, do what you need to do when you get on the ball. But like, I love seeing people under pressure and then ultimately seeing the fruits of their labor.
Oh yeah. Well, this I feel like this is right up your alley. Then you would love it. I also argue that like any sort of like cooking competition is definitely sports. Like, that is sports. They have to do, and some seasons they do it. Hopefully they do it this year. They have a mise en place competition. So they have to basically like chop all the veggies, and it's like a relay race, and like, but you have to get it like a very specific size and fine. And if it's not good enough, they have to start over. And it's like, I mean, it is, and it's timed, the whole thing. So yeah, like it's definitely sports. I feel like you would love it, Brianna. I feel like you need to.
I'll have to check it out because we will be on the road frequently here soon. So
yeah, it starts
I'm gonna have to download
Monday.
Some shows to watch.
Get into it.
Good to know.
I love it. Oh man, Brianna, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us once again on Kickback Committee. We're so lucky to have you and your amazing brain and insight. We appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you. It's so fun to chat with you, all things soccer.
Things soccer and non-soccer, and trying to make things soccer. That's what we do here on Kickback Committee. This is amazing. Best of luck to you on opening weekend. I'm sure we'll check back in with you shortly after. So hopefully we've got a few W's to celebrate and goals to celebrate at that point.
That's the goal.
Amazing. Well, huge thanks to Brianna. Huge thanks to all of you for tuning in. Just another reminder, Kickback Committee. We are part of Kickback Soccer Media. Follow us on all the socials at Kickback Committee on Instagram, at Kickback CMTE on Blue Sky. Check out all our other podcasts, including Soccer Wise and First Touch Weekly. And check us out on SiriusXM because we are now there. Very exciting. Guys, thank you again. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the soccer. We will see you next time.